Hi all, as promised, this is an Intel 775 system I've put together to test. So I introduced the components in a previous video, but just to run through. The only change is that I couldn't get the E5700 CPU to work, so I've got an E5300 CPU. Same spec, but the clock is just a bit lower, that's all. It's on an Intel DG41WV motherboard. All the connections for the case and power are standard on that motherboard, which is a bonus. Unfortunately though, it only takes 4 gig of RAM, but I've got 2 sticks 2 gigs, so it runs in dual channel. The graphics card is the HD7770, which has got 1 gig of VRAM, but it's DDR5, so it gives it a bit more power. And talking of power, that power supply is an FSP group power supply. It didn't have a 6-pin connector, so I've got the graphics card connected to 2 Molecs. Not ideal, but it works. And also there's a SSD drive. There is a mechanical drive, which you'll probably see in the bottom right, but that's not connected up. We don't need it because the SSD's 480 gig, which is more than enough. The other thing is the power supply CPU cable wouldn't reach, so I've got an adapter for that. So it's all in the trusty Zalman case, which is not really a gaming case, but it's ideal for testing. So what I'll do is I'll run Heaven and Valley benchmarks and some games. Now I'm going to be recording an external camera to give the system every chance, so Bandicam won't be used. I'm going to be displaying the AMD graphical performance metrics in the top right. In case you can't see any of the values, I will be talking about the performance. And also between each benchmark and game I do a full system reboot just to reclaim some resources. Okay, so let's get some benchmarking done. So I've run Heaven and Valley, taken the resolution 1920 by 1080, quality preset low, and everything else like tessellation switched off. So score for Heaven is 1426. There's a big difference between minimum and maximum, so just to bear that in mind. Minimum 11, maximum 100, and an average of 56, so we may see some stuttering in the games, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And looking at Valley, same settings, and again there's a fair distance between minimum and maximum. You want that as close as possible really. So minimum 10, maximum frames per second 66, and an average of 35, score 1478. So what I'll do is I'll run some games and talk through the performance, because it's on an external camera. You might not be able to see the AMD metrics in the top right. So up first we have Crysis. Obviously on this external camera what I can see is a lot better on screen than what is being recorded in the video. So just get a few characters moving on the screen. I'll put the AMD metrics up. Right, so at the moment we're getting late 40s, mid 40s. The graphical settings, I've got the textures on high, but everything else set to low. So at least the textures look good, which you see a lot of if the effects aren't so much. I think that's quite a good balance actually. I'll bear that in mind for future videos. So yeah, with a few characters moving, it's not bad, mid 40s. Now later on there's vehicle driving, and obviously things get a bit more intensive, so expect that rate to go down, and maybe get the because it's on maximum resolution as well, so if things start causing a problem, adjust the resolution and maybe get the textures down as well. But at the moment that's more than playable. Okay, so that's Crysis. Up now we have Zula. Now when you first start the game it runs through a system check, so it's applied highest resolution and everything's set to low, but looks alright to me. I can't, just checking for screen tearing, keep getting shot. So if you do see any, just switch on VSync. I haven't got the AMD performance metrics up because I'm not sure if that's going to take up any resource. So I've got the Steam count in the top left, and it's mid-50s at the moment, occasionally getting towards 60. So there may even be a bit of headroom to get that some of the quality settings up, or maybe there's the resolution down and the quality settings up. It's entirely up to you. But at the moment I'd say Zula is more than playable. It's not a very taxing game on a system anyway, but it plays and looks really good, I think. Just checking on that yeah, there's a little bit of tearing on there, so maybe you need to switch VSync on to get rid of that. So 50 and above, occasionally mid-40s when there's a lot of characters on the screen, but I'd say you can play Zula without too much difficulty. Occasional stuttering there, might even get a kill. Yeah, there's a bit of stuttering there actually. That frame rate went down quite a lot for some reason or other. Maybe it's the effects. There's some smoke effects there which can tank a frame rate. Okay, so that's Zula. Right, onto Paladins. So I've got the highest resolution, textures set to high, all the other settings set to low. I'm getting 40, late 30s. So I think I probably need to adjust those settings a bit more, to be honest, as that's quite low for a fast action game. Occasionally goes to 60, but that's when there's no characters on the screen. So I think maybe get some of those settings down where possible, and the experience I'm sure will be a lot better with Paladins. Up now we have Team Fortress 2. Now I've taken the game's preset of high and it's on the maximum resolution, so I'll just go out, so it's high 40s. So ideally you want a few more frames, so maybe either set the resolution down a touch or adjust the quality accordingly, because there's a few settings you can change to get higher frame rate. So I'll just go outside again. There's quite a few characters moving on the screen and it's up to 60. So, and then suddenly it goes down to 40 as I move outside, late 30s. So yeah, I think you really want to get those settings changed, because you don't want the frame rate to be so erratic. Okay, so that's Team Fortress 2. So onto Valorant. Got the resolution on 1366 by 768 and the frame rate capped at 13. To be honest, the frame rate's all over the place, so I'm not sure if there's still some background task still processing, because the first time I've played this game on this PC, but it's not that great experience, to be honest. So it's up to you if you want to try it, but the frame rate is just juddering. I've got it on the low quality preset as well, and it's actually frozen now. So yeah, try it, but I don't think Valorant's going to be that playable, to be honest. Okay.
So, just to sum up then, this was an experiment to see if we can get performance, or modern day performance, out of the Intel 775 platform. Some games like Team Fortress 2 and Zula seem to be okay. What I do though is start off with the lowest quality settings and lowest resolution, work your way up till you get a good balance without too much performance degradation or stuttering. Valorant unfortunately won't work. older games like Crysis should be fine. So if you got something like this, try a few of the older games out first. Got any questions, just drop me a comment. Now the next video, I'm going to drop in a Q quad core CPU just to see if we can get some more performance out of 775 platform. Thanks for watching.